Good afternoon. This is the Citizen News in brief. I'm Yvonne Okwara. Let us start off at the High Court here in Nairobi that has today found Acting Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli guilty of contempt for failure to appear in court. Justice Lawrence Mugambi in his ruling said Masengeli must abide by the Constitution, being a public official. The court said the police boss had held it at ransom by failing to appear in the court for the 6th time on Monday. Masengeli failed to appear in court and sent Deputy Police IG Eliud Lagat in a case where he's required to explain the whereabouts of 3 men who were abducted in Kitengela. Masengeli's lawyer said he was leading a security operation in Wajir.
I would like to note that there has been unbecoming conduct by a senior police officer, the former JPU Commandant Lazarus Opicho, now the head of VVIP Protection Unit in the police, which the court considers as bordering on intimidation. I would thus order that Mr. Lazarus Opicho be and is here by someone to explain the conduct that included calling my bodyguard and the driver, trying to ascertain my whereabouts behind my back. I also need to ascertain what the reasons behind such an inquiry and many other concerns. I thus reserve the sentencing together with the explanation by Lazarus Opicho to Friday, 13th of September 2024. Having found the first respondent, Acting AIG, Acting Inspector General of Police, guilty of contempt, the court is now free and ready to take the explanation provided by the DIG, since there is no more impediment to the hearing of the matter, the finding of contempt having been made after an opportunity to purge the contempt having been extended and not taken.
All right, now the process of collecting DNA samples from 19 families present at the Nakuru Level 4 Hospital in Kieni, Nyeri County is currently underway as they present themselves in a bid to find out the whereabouts of their children. We now want to cross over to Kieni, where our reporter Kamau Mwangi is currently for details. Kamau, good afternoon. What do we know from the families that are present? How long is this process likely to take? Certainly the parents of the missing students from Endarasha must be very worried at this time.
Well, Yvonne, not so good afternoon here at the Nakuru Level 4 Hospital in Kieni, Nyeri County, where 19 families assembled here just to come and give out their samples for DNA sampling. This includes blood, saliva, as well as hair from their bodies, just to give them to the investigating agencies who will be leading the exercise. And according to undertones that we've had, this process is going to take about 3 weeks to conclude. So it means that these parents are going to wait a little while longer before they could really get to know whether their children are part of the 19 that are here. Further undertones continue to state that government, in a statement that will be released a little bit later on, is that government has concluded the exercise of locating those who were missing, and they sort of will be telling the country that now the process of trying to identify these particular children to their families is what will be remaining. This speaks to time which the acting regional commissioner Pius Murugu attributed to yesterday when, or rather during the memorial service in Endarasha, just outside the school, that this process is going to take a little bit more of time, and we will be expecting to hear from him in a short while, even as we prepare to just get a feel of where and the investigations are at, and more so what caused the fire at the Endarasha Hillside Academy. So far, this is what is happening. The parents of the 19 families rather continue to camp inside the mortuary. We are just a few meters from the gate, and these parents will be, or rather their samples will be the ones that will be taken to just match that DNA. So a further statement is expected in a short while, and we will be here to just hear what the government has to say in regards to when these parents can be able to take their loved ones to rest, Yvonne.
Thank you very much for that, Kamau. Indeed, not a very easy time for the families there. We hope that they can get the answers that they seek. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua held a meeting with leaders from northern and northeastern counties to take stock of progress and implementation of projects being undertaken in the region. The projects under the North and Northeastern Development Initiative, amounting to 300 billion shillings, are at different stages of implementation. 10 counties are benefiting from the program.
This conversation is very important as we consolidate development plans of the national government, counties, and their locations under other elected leaders. We are not only avoiding replication, but also strengthening our approaches for catalyzed implementation of the projects. The North and Northeastern frontier counties have been left behind for far too long. We focus on them mostly during drought and deluge disasters. Over the last 2 years, my office has been coordinating emergency responses to drought and El Nino rains, causing immense suffering and large-scale humanitarian crisis. It is not sustainable to mobilize resources for relief food, clean and safe water supplies, cash handouts, among other interventions, season after season. Such interventions are ad hoc and short-lived.
Now let's take a look at what is happening in Nakuru, where a court has issued an arrest warrant against Uasin Gishu Governor Jonathan B. and former Deputy Governor John Barorot, who failed to appear before the court to testify in the 1 billion shillings Finland education saga. Senior Principal Magistrate Peter Ndege issued the arrest warrant against 3 others, Hilary Ruto, Stephen Lel and Edwin Lel, who also failed to appear. Ndege further summoned 2 other witnesses, Joel Koech and Mercy Tarus, to appear when the trial continues on the 11th of September. That's this Wednesday. Now, in what appears to be a shift in policy, the National Treasury is set to cut taxes and tax rates in the medium term. Speaking during the launch of the budget preparation process for the financial year 2025-2026, the Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Badi says the government will be looking to reduce value-added tax from 16% to 14% and corporate taxes from the current 30% to 25% in a bid to attract investment in the country. Badi has also called on professional bodies to submit their recommendations on expenditure and engage fully in the budget-making process.
The National Treasury has developed the medium-term revenue strategy to enhance domestic revenue mobilization over the medium term. The strategy will guide tax administration to improve efficiency in the administration of tax laws, create tax rates that will enhance compliance, and build the tax base. I will surprise you. In the medium term, we want to reduce tax rates. We are not thinking of increasing tax rates. We are going to reduce VAT in the medium term from 16% to about 14%. We want to reduce other taxes, including corporation tax or corporate tax, from 30 to 25%, and even pay as you earn. This is the strategy. The thinking of the Treasury is not to increase the tax rate, is to reduce it.
2 people died on Sunday night, while 20 others are nursing various injuries following a grisly road accident at Ngata on the Nakuru-Eldoret Highway. Nakuru Police Commander Samuel Ndanyi says the accident involved 2 14-seater matatus belonging to Eldoret Crossroad and Rongai Line that collided head-on. 8 occupants of one of the Eldoret-bound matatus were athletes who were traveling from Nairobi to Elgeyo Marakwet after participating in the Nairobi City Marathon. They have since been treated at the Nakuru Teaching and Referral Hospital and discharged. 9 people remain admitted at the Nakuru Teaching and Referral Hospital.
Kwa tunatoka Nairobi kukimbia Nairobi City. Nilikuwa nakimbia 10K. Nikakuwa number 15 hapo. Tukamaliza, tukaenda kwa stage. tukaanza mwendo mpaka hapa Nakuru, tuka relax kidogo almost 1 hour, alafu tukaanza safari yetu tena mpaka hapa mbele tu, sijui inaitwaje. Nikastukia tu tumepata accident, hivyo hata sijui ilitokaje. Nashukuru tu Mungu kwa kutulinda.
So kurudi Nakuru nyumbani, ndio matatu yetu kagongana na gari kwa kichwa ana kwa ana, na tukaumia. Kuna gari ndogo ilikuwa inapita na alikuwa anataka kuovertake, sasa akapatana na wengine wakagongana.
These were the athletes who were actually going to participate in Nairobi Marathon. There were those who were competing in the 42 kilometers, 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and now after of course the completion of the race, so they decided now to go back home.
The race to replace Raila Odinga as ODM party leader has kicked off with a section of Nairobi County delegates endorsing Siaya Governor James Orengo for the position. In a meeting chaired by Nairobi County ODM Chair George Aladwa, with all the 17 branch officials have exuded their confidence in having the Siaya Governor at the helm of the party, with Raila Odinga set to relinquish the seat as he continues with the African Union Commission chairmanship campaigns. The party's Central Management Committee is expected to hold a meeting to deliberate on the impending changes.
Kutakuwa na vacuum ama kutakuwa na nafasi ya party leader wa ODM baada ya baba kutoka, so tulikuwa napendekeza ya kwamba gavana wa Siaya Mheshimiwa James Orengo aweze kufikiriwa kwa hiyo kiti cha party leader cha ODM cha Kenya mzima. Na sisi kama Nairobi tumekubaliana kwa kauli moja na kila mtu ameweka sahihi ya kwamba tunamuunga mkono, ya kwamba tunaunga Orengo mkono apewe kiti cha party leader katika chama chetu cha ODM.
Hata hizo vitu zimebaki baba, tunakuomba ujaribu tena kuteua mama ili wamama washike moral ya kufanyia party kazi.
Kenya is set to leverage the upcoming Germany Annual Citizen Festival to boost tourism as well as trade and investment opportunities. Kenya will make history as their first non-European country to participate in the festival known as Burgerfest, which is scheduled for Friday and Saturday in Berlin. Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Dr. Korir Singhawe has termed the event a milestone in the growing relations between Kenya and Germany, spanning over 60 years. He said the event provides an opportunity to grow tourist arrivals from Germany, being a key source market for Kenya.
Our technical and vocational institutions are training many young people. And given Germany's aging population, given that demographic profile that they have, our young people can indeed find work in German industries, and it's not going to be low-skill work. It's going to be high-skill work, including in tech, and that's why, as part of this event, there will be a signing ceremony of a bilateral labor agreement between Germany and Kenya. Again, that will be the first bilateral labor agreement between Germany and an African country.
Right, let's take a look at what's happening beyond Kenya's borders. At least 50 people have been killed in central Nigeria's Niger state after a fuel tanker collided with a lorry carrying passengers and cattle. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency said the collision caused an explosion which engulfed both vehicles. Footage taken from the scene shortly after the incident shows the two vehicles, which have been entirely burnt out, as well as a number of dead cattle. Emergency agents for the victims on Sunday.
So far, we have been able to recover 47 corpses, and we have not actually been able to ascertain the number of livestock that were affected, because the whole scene, many of these animals were trapped inside. So we're still trying to extricate them.
All right, that's all we have for you at this hour. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 7 and at 9 for more news. I'm Yvonne Okwara. Have a good afternoon.